Now we're bringing on the HoopSpeak Live OG, the man himself, Kevin Arnovitz. Looking bronzed. Look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, are you frozen? Or is he frozen? Oh, no, there he goes. All right, cool. Good. Excellent.
Frozen.
So, great question. That someone, I think, either saw it on Twitter or someone put it in this chat right here, that if Del Negro, imagine Del Negro saying in a press conference that he knew Chris Paul had asked for him to be traded. How differently would we be reacting to this?
That is so far outside my realm of imagination of articulating anything kind of just substantively honest. No, he can be. He's absolutely charming at times. I just the temperaments of those two guys could just not be more different.
Should we be more skeptical of Van Gundy's sort of rhetorical tactic here, or should we be lauding it the way many are for him being honest and blunt?
I think it depends on who you are, right? If you are in management at some other team that's going to be looking for a head coach, as good as he is systematically, do you want a guy who might very well take a confidential conversation between you and him and make it the centerpiece of the year's most lauded press conference? I'm not saying that what Stan did was wrong. What I'm saying is it all depends on who you are. If you're hiring a coach who is going to have 82 pregame press avails a season, who is going to have well over 150 public opportunities to take you to task as management, you might think twice. If you're a fan, it's great. If you're a member of the media, it's a godsend.
Yeah.
So where do they go from here? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I can't even imagine what the next step is. It just seems complete chaos.
Well, they'll finish out the season. They'll get the 3 or the 4, right? They'll play Atlanta or Indiana, and they'll win or they'll lose. And then I think there will probably be a meeting that we would all love to be a fly on the wall for, between teammates, perhaps ownership.
He might tell us about it.
Stan, and he might. Honestly, I would pay-per-view. What would you pay?
Oh, I'd give $100 easy.
300.
Well, would you rather just hear the conversation, or would you rather hear Stan telling his brother about the conversation? That's the one I want to hear.
Oh,
I would have that.
That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. I'm supposed to tell you to turn your mic up, Kevin. I'm supposed to nag you like a Jewish grandmother to turn your mic up.
Let me do it.
And then I will follow that. I will follow that with a question, though. Does Donald Sterling care about winning? Because I feel like a lot of the assumptions about whether or not Vinny Del Negro is out or in are kind of based on the premise that Sterling might want to win and cares about whether or not he's he has the wrong coach. I mean, do you think that Sterling cares?
Theoretically, sure he cares. Does he have the aptitude and capacity as an owner to make it happen? That's a different question. I think he genuinely wants to win. He's a guy with money and with ego, but I just think, look, I want to run a half marathon, but I'm not going to tell you I'm getting up tomorrow morning at 6:30 to start training.
Why not? Challenge yourself a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Sterling derives some pleasure. Do you think that Sterling might derive some pleasure from just trolling us and keeping a coach who perhaps fans want to go? I think kind of keeping him on board.
See, you don't get it, Kevin. Sterling's whole thing is aimed at Ethan.
All things are.
There is a level of narcissism. Yes.
Donald Sterling wakes up in his compound in Malibu every morning, wondering how he can just grapple.
How can I troll Ethan?
I don't care. I'm fine with Vinny Del Negro staying on. I really don't care. But I do think that he might derive some pleasure from not going along with what everybody demands and to have this profitable team. Like, he hasn't cared about winning traditionally.
Here's the thing with Vinny, and it's something that no one's really talking about because I think the expectations when you acquire a guy like Chris Paul tend to accelerate. I don't think for the Clippers, and this is true for ownership, I think it's even more true for management, I don't think it's about 2011, 2012. I really don't. I think it's about next season. They patched a hole with Chauncey. Chauncey fell victim to an injury. The bench was sort of cobbled together on the fly. I think the sense is that when the time comes in June of 2013 to get a signature from Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, those two guys are not going to remember that life was bumpy in April of 2012. I mean, 14 months in the context of the NBA is a lifetime. I mean, do you remember what the turmoil was 14 months ago in the NBA? I mean, let's go to February. To the extent things aren't right in New York, it's not because, or to the extent things aren't right in Denver, it's not because of Carmelo, the melodrama. I mean, 14 months is an eternity, and so I really don't think the fortunes of this season, I'm not saying they're not important to the Clippers. They need to make the playoffs. They need to acquit themselves well in the first round. You could even say they need to justify their seed if they're the 4 playing home court to a 5. But I honestly don't think, I think management is under the impression that, look, we're going to have our menu of coaches available to us. We're going to have a menu of 2 guards we're going to go out and pursue. We're going to stock this team with the personnel that conforms to that coach, and we're going to make our run next season. And that it's not excusing the fact that they can't guard anyone, but I just don't think in the context of Paul and Griffin, which is really what this is all about, it matters what they do this spring.